Hello, welcome. In today's video we're going to find out what is the ultimate rangefinder camera. By this I mean what is the most accurate rangefinder camera from all the popular brands like Voigtlander, the old Nikon rangefinder cameras, the old Canon rangefinder cameras and vintage Soviet cameras. 13 cameras in total. Let's jump into the video. Hey guys, Matt here from MrLiker.com. So today we're going to cover a topic called effective base length, which is basically the measurement of how accurate your rangefinder camera can be. The higher the EBL number, the more accurate your camera. The lower the EBL number, the less accurate your rangefinder camera. I've dug out all my rangefinder cameras, lined them all up, and we're going to go through them from least accurate through to the most accurate and end with the ultimate winner. If you think you know your rangefinder cameras, comment below which one is the winner and you will find out by the time we get to the end. So the topic of effective base length can get a bit number heavy. I have done a full detailed blog post linked below, so if you want to check out any particular cameras which are not mentioned in this post, check below. Before we look at the actual cameras, let's first look at the term effective base length, or EBL. EBL is measured by your base length times your magnification. What is base length? Base length is the distance between the two windows on your front of your rangefinder camera, measured in millimeters, and the magnification is how magnified is your rangefinder when you're looking through the camera. So if you look through one of your cameras and everything looks really small, that's a low magnification, low accuracy camera. If you look through the rangefinder and everything looks really big and magnified, that's a higher accuracy camera. The longer the distance between those two windows, the more accurate, and the shorter the distance between the two windows, the less accurate. With that, now let's look at the cameras. We'll go from least accurate through to most accurate, and as I say, if you want to place your bets, feel free to comment below. Okay, so one of my least accurate cameras is the Voigtlander Bessa L, for the simple reason it doesn't have a rangefinder. This is scale focus only. Next we have the Leica CL film camera. This has got a really short base length of only 31.5 millimeters and a low magnification 2 of 0.6. Next, the Voigtlander Bessa R. This has only got a base length of 37 millimeters and a low magnification of 0.69, meaning it's a low accuracy rangefinder camera. Now the question you may have is, when do you need an accurate rangefinder camera? You might think all the time, but that's not strictly true. If you shoot at, say, f8 all day and you do landscapes or street photography and you're stopping down, you can just scale focus or zone focus, so you don't actually need a camera with a rangefinder at all. They're just less good for fast lens photos. Following this, the Zorki 4. This has got a base length of 41 but a 1:1 viewfinder, so a big bright viewfinder but a short base length. Note how close the two windows are together. Following this is the Contax 2A or Contax 3A. The windows are reasonably far apart, but it's only got a viewfinder magnification of 0.66, meaning it's not the most accurate camera. Next, a camera that you may be familiar with, the Leica M4P. This is the same as, say, a Leica M2, for example. Many Leica cameras have the 0.72 viewfinder magnification, and it's got a base length of around 69 millimeters. Next, we have the Leica M6. This has got the same 0.72 magnification viewfinder, however, it's got a very slightly longer base length, meaning it's slightly more accurate, but almost the same as, say, an M2 or an M4P, or most of the M cameras. More accurate than a Leica M6 is a Voigtlander Bessa T. This has got a short base length. You can see the two windows are very close together. However, it's got a 1.5 times the magnification rangefinder, meaning it's still going to be more accurate than most Leica M cameras. Following that, we have Leica 3 cameras. This is actually like 3G, but all Leica 3 cameras are the same. Again, a reasonably short base length, but again with the 1.5 viewfinder magnification, which still makes it more accurate than a standard Leica M camera. Now I don't own one, but an exception is the Leica M6 0.85 viewfinder version of the camera. That camera is more accurate than a Leica 3 camera, but only just. It's almost the same. When would you benefit from having a high EBL value rangefinder camera? You want an accurate rangefinder camera if you're using fast lenses or fast and long lenses. So fast means having a lens with a small aperture value, such as f1.4, f1.2, normally from 50mm or longer in particular. So I use things like the 51.4 Summilux, and especially the ultra fast lenses such as the Nocturne 50 f1 or the Leica Noctilux 50mm f1. If we talk about longer lenses, one lens that I used to struggle to nail focus is my Leica Summicron 90mm f2 Preaspherical. That lens is fantastic for portraits, but it's a very shallow depth of field. Next we've got the Nikon S2. So it's got a reasonably decent base length of 60mm, and it's got a 1:1 beautiful big bright viewfinder, making this a pretty accurate camera. In fourth place we have the Canon L3 or the Canon L variants. Similar to Leica 3 cameras, it's got a short base length but a 1.5 magnification viewfinder, making it the fourth most accurate camera. And in third place, the third most accurate camera and the most accurate Leica camera is of course the Leica M3, my favourite Leica film camera. 68.5 base length with a 0.91 magnification viewfinder makes this the most accurate Leica rangefinder film camera ever made. Now in second place, I don't have the camera, but you have the Contax 2 or the Contax 3, and the winner is, in first place, the Kiev 4 series cameras, which is basically the same as a Contax 2, Contax 3 camera. They're all made from the same tools and the same jigs. These have a huge 90mm base length and a 0.8 magnification viewfinder, giving you a final EBL number of 72, making this the most accurate rangefinder camera you can buy, and also one of the most affordable, which I love. I've got my Kiev 4A here, and the reason I've got it with me is because it's my most accurate rangefinder camera, and I just like getting photos in focus. The accuracy of your rangefinder camera is not purely based on the EBL or effective base length number. There are 5 other points you need to consider. Number 1, the size and brightness of your rangefinder viewfinder window. The bigger the window and the brighter it is, the easier it is for you to focus. The dimmer and smaller it is, obviously the more difficult it's going to be for you to accurately focus. One of the common complaints with the vintage Leica 3 cameras or Barnack cameras is the very small rangefinder viewfinder windows, and so for that reason some people just can't use those cameras. Number 2, this is an important one: how contrasty and clear is the rangefinder patch when looking through your camera. You want a very defined rangefinder patch so you can tell when something is in focus and when something is out of focus. If it's very faint and hard to see, there's a good chance you're going to struggle to get really accurate focusing. I have this problem with my Nikon S2. Number 3, if you have a combined viewfinder rangefinder, this is particularly useful for moving subjects, because if you've got a split viewfinder rangefinder where you've got to move your eye from a rangefinder window to a viewfinder window, such as on the Voigtlander Bessa T for example, by the time you've moved your eye, you can either introduce movement into the camera if you're kind of moving like this, or if you're photographing models for example, the same as me, they have chance to move slightly, thereby they were in focus, but by the time you've moved from the rangefinder to the viewfinder, they've moved and now they're not in focus and you're going to miss your shot. So combined viewfinder rangefinders are better for moving subjects. If it's a static subject, it doesn't matter as much. Number 4, another big one, if you don't have 20/20 vision, is some cameras have a built-in diopter. This means you can dial in your prescription to give you 20/20 vision even through these vintage cameras. Thereby, because you can now see, you've got a much better chance of hitting focus. If you think you'll benefit from a camera with a diopter, look at the vintage Leica 3 cameras and the Leica clones from the Soviet brands. Some more modern cameras such as the Leica M series, they don't have diopters, but you can use it like a screw-in 1.4 magnifier. I've done a video on that before. And this is a biggie. Number 5, is your rangefinder camera accurately calibrated? If your rangefinder of your camera is slightly off, it doesn't matter if you use a Leica M3 or a Kiev 4. If your camera's not calibrated, you're going to miss focus. So this is an absolute must. If you're missing focus, try to get your camera CLA'd or recalibrated by a service guy, and then try using your existing camera before looking to buy alternative cameras. If you're a digital Leica M shooter, I would highly recommend using a electronic viewfinder or VisoFlex when using ultra-fast glass or say the 90 f2 lenses. It's very easy to miss focus, I found with my Leica M240. If you want to absorb this information at a slower pace, as I say, I have done a full written article, first link in the description below. This will list all the cameras in effective base length order from best to worst. And the post will also include a link to the best performing rangefinder cameras, so you can check out those videos too. Let us know in the comments below, what rangefinder camera do you enjoy using the most? And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. As always, a huge thanks to my amazing patrons, and see you in the next video.